Yo, my name is Ryan, and I'm a senior UX designer, and I'm going to be walking through what Claude Code is today. This video is for junior designers or designers that are interested in Claude Code but have no idea how to get started, what it is, what can you do with it, all that good stuff. So we'll be breaking it down, and I'll walk you through me building a feature for a desktop app I've built with Claude Code. So it's going to be pretty straightforward. Let's jump right in. So what is Claude Code? If you jump to Claude's pricing pages, you can see that I'm on a team plan, so I get a standard seat paid for me. But if you're not subscribed, you can come and see that you can set up a free account, which does not include Claude Code. If you upgrade to an annual plan, you can get it for $17 billed annually, or it's $20 a month. I definitely think it's worth it. I'm a little biased because I've built some fun stuff with it already, and I think it's really fun to build. So if that's something you're interested in, I would definitely recommend upgrading, because you can't use Claude Code without a pro account. So once you set up that Claude Pro account, you can do some really great stuff, and I'll demonstrate that right now. So to launch Claude Code, you'll open Terminal on your computer, and to do that, I'll show you right here. Just do Command Spacebar and then type in Terminal, and then it'll pop right in. And then I made it a little bigger, and then I did Command Plus a couple times to make it the text bigger. So you'll just type in Claude, and I've already got mine installed. If you don't have it installed, it'll walk you through how to install it. It's very easy. If you're not sure how to install Claude Code the first time, you'll need to install it before you can actually call Claude in your terminal app, because it won't be installed, so it won't be calling anything. So come into your Claude account, you'll ask it, how do I install Claude Code? Okay, so it came back with the instructions. So it's telling you what I told you. Spacebar and Command opens the terminal, and then you type in Terminal, click Enter, it'll pop up your terminal, and you'll run this code here. So you just click Copy and paste it in. I've already done this, so I'm not going to do that. And then Authenticate. Once installed, type in Claude and Enter. It'll prompt you to log in, which means it'll just open your browser. You'll type in your information again, click Enter, and then it'll say, okay, go back to Terminal, and Terminal will check that you authenticated, and then you can log in. Okay, so for this project, what I want to do is update an app that I've already built for my computer. So if you don't know, a lot of desktop Mac apps are actually not really Macintosh apps, not Swift apps. They're actually wrapped in React and wrapped in like a window so that it pretends to be a Mac app, so it'll run on your computer, but it's really just a browser. So Figma and Slack are two examples of that, where they're actually just web browsers, but you can download them to your computer, so your computer thinks that they're like Mac apps, but they're actually just web apps. So you can code in React, and your computer will think that it's a Mac app, which is pretty sweet. So you don't have to know Swift to build apps for your Mac. So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to take an app that I built over here. I'm calling it Gigolo, which is a play, just me being silly, but it's a way for my computer to stay not locked. So I built a little Gigolo app with Claude Code that jiggles my mouse every few minutes so that it doesn't lock, so that my computer can stay open, so I can go walk and come back and my computer will be unlocked. I don't have to enter this really long, obscure password several times a day. So what I want to do now is bake in a Pomodoro timer in addition to this Gigolo thing. So if you're not familiar with Pomodoros, you can look them up on YouTube. It kind of exploded in popularity over COVID, where this Pomodoro, which I think is Italian for like tomato or something, where someone had a tomato timer, and every 25 minutes you get up and you walk around, you take a break, you go do something else. You like go see some sun, go play with your kids, go get a snack, go for a walk, and take care of yourself basically, because far too often we sit at our desks for far too long, losing track of time and working really hard, and we need to take care of our bodies too. So I'm going to build in a Pomodoro type timer into this Gigolo app so that it manages my mouse but also takes care of me, so I remind myself to go get some sun, go take a break. Now that you understand what I'm going to do, let's use Claude Code to build it. And I'm going to open Terminal again. I'm going to type in Claude again to launch it. You can see it's launching, and I say yes, I trust my folders, and then I'm going to give it the prompt. I'm using an app called Obsidian, which is pretty great. It's kind of blowing up on YouTube because you can connect Claude Code to Obsidian, which is just a note-taking app. And you can actually take your Obsidian notes and then connect them directly into Claude Code, so Claude Code can read them. So you don't have to type it out here in this terminal. You can type it out in Obsidian and then just make Claude reference the Obsidian notes so that they work hand in hand. So I'm going to right click on it and then copy the path from system root, from your system root where Claude is running. So I've got that copied. So I'm going to say in here, please click enter, and we'll see what it does. You can see here that I didn't use plan the correct way. So I think to use it, let me open another window here. So I think to use plan correctly, you're supposed to do it at the beginning here. So I think you do /plan, there you go. And then you click enter, and it's enabled plan mode. So now I'm in plan mode, and now I can write down what I wanted to do. I do like that it constantly asks you before it just jumps in and makes assumptions, because sometimes AI can bullet train in one direction. If you didn't give it enough context, it will totally screw up all the stuff you've been working on, which is not fun to fix. Okay, it's asking another question. Contains /escaped white space. Do you want to proceed? Tab to amend. Control E to explain. Let's do Control E because I'm not sure what it's meaning. Yeah. So yes, I want it to proceed so that it'll have more context. That's a great question, and it was cool that I could prompt it to explain what it was asking. Before I can plan this, I have a few questions. So you can see here that it's telling you the time there and the amount of tokens as it's digging through different files and thinking and planning now, which is pretty cool. So the first question is asking, like, do you want it to like literally block your mouse and your keyboard so it's forcing you to get up, or do you want it to be only visual? The answer is only visual. If I'm in the middle of a meeting and it decides my Pomodoro timer ends, like, that's gonna suck, so we don't want that. We just want it visually, like kind of like a nudge more than like a shove you out of your chair experience, you know? Okay, so in Claude Code now with enough context, it's coming back with a plan, and I'm going to read through the plan and confirm it and then watch it build it. So it said, I don't have any more questions. I have everything I need to build. I'll start with phase 1. Shall I go ahead? Go ahead. Do it to it. Lars. If anyone knows that reference, you're awesome. Okay, so you can see here that Claude has built it's displaying some of the code that it's doing. It's assigning more lines of code to my app up here. So you can see that it's working. The red is stuff it's taken away. The green is stuff it's added. So in the meantime, I'm going to go to YouTube and download some music that I found the other day that's really great. Crotch blowout, that's fun. Where's this guy? Here we go. Tokiwave is a free YouTuber that gives you free music that I want my Pomodoro to be. So let's find his account. Free download. I'm gonna download that. That's what this sound you've been listening to all day. So I'm gonna download this. This is the music that you've been seeing in my video. I love this guy, so I love his music. So I'm gonna download it. So you can see here I've got the audio file now. So once Claude is done developing the rest of it, I'm gonna tell him to make this my looping, maybe break music. When the music ends, I know that my focus time is back on. So I took the file and I dropped it inside my parent folder here so that when Claude is done writing the code, he can look at this audio file and know where it is. Okay, so it's taken a few minutes, but I think I'm nearing the end here. I'm gonna ask it what this means. So Control E, and it's gonna load in an explanation, and I think we'll be good to go. Okay, so Claude is telling me that it's ready to go. So we're going to launch Gigolo again, and we should see a Pomodoro section. So let's come in here. Oh, nice. You can see that the UI is not very pretty, and I would want to improve this here, but let's see if it works. So let's turn on the Gigolo thing for me, and now the Pomodoro section is there. So focus time, let's make it 30 minutes, and the break time can be 15 minutes, 45 minutes and 15, that's an hour. So let's start Pomodoro. Cool, and it made a little gong sound, sweet. So we can see the Pomodoro there, which is awesome. So the whole thing, you can see like the clicking on the tray and it works. So if I paused it, let's see if pausing works. It does. Let's see if quitting or stopping works. Sweet. Sick. Okay, that works. Now I just have to wait 45 minutes to see what happens when the break happens. So I'll pause it and then come back to that. I went ahead and did some styling so you can see it looks a little different. I changed the font to be a mono font. I added some padding, made the whole pop-up a little bigger, and I'll quit this. You can see I changed the color here to be more of a pretty green color that I like. I'm now going to run the Pomodoro part of this app to see what the end gong sound will sound like, and if there's a break sound or song, but this is it so far, so it looks pretty good. We've got about 1 minute left here, and then we'll see if this gong sound is cool or whatever sound is gonna happen. I don't actually know. All right, 10, 9, I'm not gonna count down, but let's just see what happens. Nice. The whole UI kind of took over the screen. There was no audio, but it did take over, and I can't like change the size. So I got some feedback here. I want to like be able to collapse this, or there's no way to get out, and I can't pause it here. I can barely, if I'm squinting, I can see like my apps underneath there, but it's not letting me get out of it. Okay, as you can see, this is a interesting learning experience. Anyway, we'll have to see what happens with this, but it is cool that it works. In the end, you can build cool little apps for your computer with Claude Code. So, I mean, we figured that out. I just need to figure out how I'm gonna, I maybe have to wait, I maybe have to actually go take my break now. So the next steps that I'm gonna do, figuring out this problem and then attaching the MP3 that I downloaded. I want to hear some cool sounds, sense, like, so I can see it, I want to hear it too, that it's a break time, so get out of the chair. So alright, so I wanted to wrap up this Pomodoro walkthrough with the final, this is where we landed. So if you come up here, you can see I've got a little timer running. This is my Pomodoro app, so you can see right there I've got a timer going, and if you wanted to see a preview, you can, or if you need to pause it for a meeting or something, you can click pause and the timer will stop. If you want to just cancel it for the day, or reset it for a different time period, you can do, I've got 4 different periods for the focus time and then the break time, 10 minutes to 30 minutes. So I can show you an example of what it looks like when we hit that break period. Right here we see some cool audio and a timer. This is only showing you a 10-second example, but it'd be 10 minutes or whatever period you set. And I've got a dismiss button right there. So it's pretty cool how it works, and it was pretty cool that we could build this whole thing with Claude Code, just prompting it. I did very little actual coding. I jumped into VS Code or Cursor, I can't remember which app I used, but I jumped into them and tweaked the sizing and the colors a little bit, but beyond that I didn't do any development myself. Published to my Mac as a Mac app, which is pretty crazy that you can do that these days. So you can definitely do this. If I can do it and barely figure it out as like a person that doesn't know what I'm doing, you can definitely figure it out. So get out there and build some cool apps. See ya.